Colossians 2:16, is not the Sabbath of the Ten Commandments. Prove me wrong. They say, Colossians 2:16 proves the Sabbath is abolished. But let me ask you this. Which Sabbath is Paul actually talking about? Is it the Sabbath of the Ten Commandments, the one God wrote with his own finger in stone? Or is it the ceremonial Sabbaths, the shadowy feast days found in the law of Moses? Let's tear the veil off the confusion. Colossians 2:16 says, "Let no man therefore judge you in meat or in drink, or in respect of an holy day, or of the new moon, or of the Sabbath days." Now pause. That verse lists dietary laws, feast days, new moons, and Sabbath days, plural. These are shadows of ceremonial ordinances, not the moral law of the Ten Commandments. Read verse 14. Blotting out the handwriting of ordinances that was against us. Paul isn't speaking of God's eternal commandments. He's speaking of handwritten ordinances, the ceremonial laws Moses wrote, not the commandments God carved in stone. The Sabbath in Exodus 20:8-11 is different. It is not man-made. It is not ceremonial. It is not a shadow. It is creation law. Remember the Sabbath day, to keep it holy. For in 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth, and rested the seventh day. Wherefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it. Exodus 20:8-11. This Sabbath predates Moses. It was blessed in Eden, not Sinai. God gave it to Adam, not just the Jews. In fact, it's the only commandment that begins with remember. Yet it's the one most pastors tell you to forget. So skeptics, pastors, priests, imams, and anyone clinging to Colossians 2:16 as proof that the seventh-day Sabbath is abolished, answer this. Why does God bless and hallow the seventh day in Genesis 2:3, long before any Jewish ordinance existed? Why did Jesus say in Mark 2:27, the Sabbath was made for man? Not Jews, not Moses, but man. Why does Isaiah 66:23 say that all flesh will worship God from one Sabbath to another in the new heavens and new earth? And if Colossians 2 abolishes the seventh-day Sabbath, then why doesn't it abolish the other 9 commandments too? Has adultery, theft, idolatry, and lying also been nailed to the cross? Don't twist Paul's letters. Even Peter warned in 2 Peter 3:16 that many would distort Paul's writings to their own destruction. Let's be clear. Colossians 2:16 Sabbaths or ceremonial feast days like Passover, Feast of Trumpets, Day of Atonement. See Leviticus 23. Exodus 20:8-11 Sabbath equals the seventh day weekly Sabbath, written by God, not Moses, blessed at creation, and placed in the heart of God's moral law. You can try to lump them together, but the Bible separates them clearly. One is a shadow, the other is the sign of the Creator, Ezekiel 20:12, Exodus 31:17. So here's the challenge. Show me one verse, just one, where God says he abolished the seventh-day Sabbath of the Ten Commandments. Show me where Jesus, Paul, or any apostle tells Christians to stop keeping the Sabbath God wrote in stone. If you can't, then admit it. Colossians 2:16 is not the Sabbath of the fourth commandment. The seventh-day Sabbath stands eternal, from Eden to eternity. Prove me wrong.